Are you ready for some black sheep?
Exercise is live!
Black Sheep Bravo, broadcasting from red zone to green zone and everywhere in between. Always armed.
Wow. Welcome to Black Sheep Bravo. This is the Spaniard coming at you. Coming after a long break, enjoying the summer for a change, doing some crazy things, and decide to get back into the studio and bring you back a great show. Today I'm having the Illiana Rugby Football Club. Both the men and women members are coming on board to talk a little bit about rugby and how it got started and some of the different things they do in the community. So it's going to be a real good show. A couple changes here in Black Sheep Bravo. We're going to be changing our format. Instead of being a weekly show, we're going to have some more quality time and making it sure that we get the right people in for the different shows. So we're going to be doing it on a monthly basis. See how it goes at first, and then eventually going 2 times a month, and eventually back to a weekly show once we get really up and running and getting a huge following base. So with that said, I want to be able to set out there that go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page. It's at Black Sheep Bravo. It's on YouTube. Also, you could find us on Facebook, Black Sheep Bravo on Facebook, as well as Twitter as well. So there's definitely different ways to get in touch with the Spaniard here. So we have a great show lined up for you, so stick around. The show's about to start in a couple seconds. Welcome back, everybody. And this is Black Sheep Bravo. This is the Spaniard coming at you. We got a great show for you lined up. We had a nice season break for the summer. Did a lot of crazy shit. Got to do some spear fishing, some kayaking, some hunting, some boating. You name it, we did it. And now it's time to get back into the studio and record what we need to get done to get the voice out. With us today, we have the Illiana Rugby Football Club, comprised of both the Illiana Misfits and the Illiana Banshees, men and women. Both men and women teams separately, not playing together, but we're going to talk to a few of them today and get the scoop on what rugby is and what's the whole new craze about what rugby is. And hopefully we may be able to get them some new players and hopefully some sponsorship and maybe some swag, you name it. So we got a pretty cool crew here. We're going to start off with some introductions. Do we have any officers here from the club?
Yes.
Yes. Who would that be? Who's that?
Well,
also, we're gonna go. We're gonna forget the whole ladies first thing. And
I was trying to indicate to her. So.
Well, you're an actual officer. I'm a chairman.
Oh, okay.
Chair. Okay, so we got an officer. Go ahead and tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm one of the, I guess you could say, cross-team officers. My position could be elected from one position or from one team or the other. I'm the treasurer of the Illiana Rugby Football Club. My name's Josh. Everybody calls me Preacher or Rev or generally just Hey You. Where's the money?
Okay. What's the reason they call you Rev or Preacher?
Well, actually, when I first joined the team, I was in a period of transition from one denomination to another. I'm actually in the process of becoming a fully ordained minister in my current denomination.
Okay.
So I work with a few local churches to... Basically, I preach in those churches. That's sort of where the name preacher comes from. And I do counseling. I help out on the side whenever I'm requested to. So.
Okay. And what got you involved with rugby?
Well, I've been watching rugby for probably 10 years now. It started with a fascination for sevens rugby, which is sort of a modified version. There's 7 people on a team instead of 15s. We'll probably get into that later. But it's a little bit faster paced, and I got interested in that. And then one of my buddies said, "Hey, there's actually another version. It's the real rugby." So
Did you say virgins?
Version.
Oh, version.
Version.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Coming from the preacher.
Yeah, coming from the preacher.
Thanks, guys.
What kind of church do you preach at?
Oh boy.
Is that whole promise of 27 virgins later on in life or something like that?
No, it isn't. No.
Not those virgins?
I think it's 72, actually.
72? Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of virgins.
It almost makes it worth it.
I've only maybe had 4 in my life, so 72 of those. I mean,
I thought I was
that's too many. That's too many emotions.
Too much attachment.
Wow. Okay.
So I got a couple questions for you. I want to get back to you on that there,
Yeah,
Rev.
sure.
Next to you is who?
My name's Jason Rice. They call me Memphis
Memphis, and why do they call you Memphis?
because I moved up here last year from Memphis, Tennessee. Took a job up here in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. So love it up here though. So nickname kind of stuck. That's where I was born and raised, but I was a military brat, so I kind of grew up all over the place.
Yeah, all over?
All over.
What was your worst place you stayed at?
Worst place?
Probably.
Too late. Next question. We're moving on.
There you go.
All right, who do they have here?
Hello. My name's Christina Kukla. Everyone just calls me Kukla.
Kukla.
Most people don't know I have a first name.
Okay.
So, you know.
And what got you into rugby?
I played soccer all growing up because there isn't football for women or like more intense contact sports. So I always played soccer forever. And then once I graduated high school, I wasn't on a women's team anymore. Like I would play pickup games every once in a while, but it wasn't the same. One of the girls that I used to play with in high school joined Illiana Banshees, and she posted something about it on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I want to play rugby. And she's like, okay, come out to practice. Which is crazy because usually you have to like harp on women for like weeks and weeks and weeks.
me
Come to
about it.
practice, come to practice, come to practice.
Yeah.
And I just
we all know
loved
that.
it.
You got to harp on women. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
I just showed up, and it's been love ever since.
And they do have the lingerie league though. You said there was no women football for women.
Okay,
that
but-
is true.
nah.
There is the lingerie league.
Are you sure that's for women?
Yeah.
Would you-
I
would
think
you
it's more
though?
for the men.
For men.
All right. And
Played by women for men.
And what's your role with the club?
I am the women's recruitment chair.
Women's recruitment chair.
Yeah.
All right. How is recruitment going?
Actually really well. I joined the team last spring, and we were lucky if we could get 10 girls to a game. Usually practice would be like 5 to 7 girls. Our last game we had 17 or 18 girls show up, which is amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Like, I didn't even know what to do with myself. I looked around and I was like, wait, we have more than 15 people here. Like, what is going on? So, yeah, it's all about finding passionate women who are
Oh, I love passionate women.
Get a little rough.
Speaking of passionate women, who's next to you? Who's this?
Hello, my name is Ochi. I don't know.
You're nervous, aren't
Yes,
you? A little
I'm
shy.
very nervous.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna look at Memphis while you're talking.
Okay.
Unless people want to watch you though, but we'll come back. How did you get involved with rugby?
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school.
No, wait. You didn't let me finish my sentence. So, in high school, I was in wrestling and soccer and
Nice.
tennis, and I've always been really into sports, and coming to college, there was like no sports for me to be in. So, in rugby, I just...
Very nice. What's your favorite wrestling move?
For wrestling move?
Yeah, what's your favorite? Too late. We're moving on. And here we got this guy here is a badass. I've known this guy for a little while. Go ahead
You're
and tell
too
us who
kind.
you are.
My name's Dan Baruman. Nickname is Mex. Kind of an obvious point. I'm Mexican.
Get out.
I know, right?
I thought you were Australian.
I wish.
Especially with
That'd
that
be awesome.
accent.
You'd probably be better at rugby.
I'd probably.
Not that you're not good, I'm just saying.
At this point, I should probably be playing for the women's league.
There you go.
But
What does that mean?
I'm a 7-year veteran.
Nice.
Started back when I was about 22 years old. A buddy of mine named Filip Zivkovic, a Serbian guy, used to play for the team. Now he's pursuing his dreams as a contractor or something like that. And I've been in love with it ever since. I came out to a random, really rainy, cold practice, and I got the shit knocked out of me by one of the guys that originated the team, Will Roll. And, even to this day, he still just always kind of reminds me of Randy Couture. So that's kind of like how I remembered him at the time.
That is a pretty
especially-
good comparison.
Especially
It is.
since he pretty much almost knocked me unconscious in my first practice of ever even knowing what rugby was. So, and it's been fun.
Very cool. So, besides all the different sports that's being offered nowadays, do you think rugby is an up and coming thing, or do you think people are still afraid of it? Or what are your thoughts on
It's a
that?
little bit of both, but it's coming
Yeah.
further along than it was. I mean, the key's getting the youth sports involved with in the middle school age group and into the high school to get it really growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
What
the
are-
big thing is it's still not so much as known in the U.S. as it is in most other European countries and Pacific Islanders and things like that.
People are still afraid of it too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they look at it and say, "Oh, it's too dangerous. There's no pads."
Right.
Well, that's because like we all have the reference point of American football,
Yeah.
which the tackling is way more dangerous than rugby tackling. Rugby
Yeah.
tackling is designed to keep your head away and keep concussions down.
Wait,
So-
head? Did she say head?
I'll take
I'll
some
tell
of
you
that.
We'll get into that a little bit. We'll get into a little bit here. So, kind of, whoever wants to take the lead on this, what is rugby? How do you play? For those listeners out there who aren't familiar with rugby, how do you play it?
Pass backwards.
Yeah, first thing. Pass back.
You know,
it's
I'd
ass
say
backwards.
It seems kind of repetitive to say it a little bit, but one of the best explanations of it is it's kind of a cross between soccer and football.
Yep.
Yeah.
They always say it's got the artistry of the kicks and things like that from soccer with the high intensity and the hard hitting of football.
Okay. What are some of the major differences between rugby, soccer, and football?
No pads.
Well,
Yeah, for sure.
You got no
It's-
downs either. The play doesn't
Right.
stop until there's a reason to stop. A penalty's
That's how it's like
committed,
soccer.
or you can't get the ball out, or something like that. It doesn't just stop like in what we know as football, and you keep going and going. The ball's in play until something stops it.
Until something stops it.
Yeah.
And then other differences between, I'm going to stick with football and rugby. What are some other differences that people probably aren't familiar with?
there's a fluidity to rugby that football doesn't have. In football, you have very set positions. A wide receiver will run a pattern and attempt to catch the ball or block for a running back who's running the ball. An offensive line, they're either creating holes for a running back or protecting a quarterback. Everybody's got their very set position, and everybody has a particular job that they're supposed to do. You'll never see, at least not since the days of Refrigerator Perry, you're not going to see someone who's on an offensive or defensive line carrying the ball. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see a wide receiver get into the line and block. It's just not seen because they call illegal formation and other things.
Right.
The big thing with rugby is everybody does everything. Mm-hmm. I've seen, we got the guy in the middle of a scrum is called a hooker. I've seen a hooker kick. Mm-hmm. The
That's
bigger
right.
guys, but the bigger guys, forwards will, I'm a prop, and I'm the size of an offensive lineman, and yet I carry the ball every game, generally every game. We got guys that are, really small and really quick. They might see the ball as much as I do. Mm-hmm. Now, they'll gain 15, 20 meters if they get a hole.
Well, let me stop you right there. You mentioned positions. So there's obviously positions. You said you play a prop.
Correct.
What do you guys play? Memphis?
I'm go back and forth between prop and lock now. I used
Yeah.
to be a wing many moons ago.
Now, what's the difference between a prop and a wing?
A prop is a forward, going to be up. Usually when people think of rugby, they think of that big, big pile of people in the middle.
Uh-huh.
You're up there, you're part of that group supporting, you kind of, the bigness of the team. Versus a wing, the wing is just like in soccer, you're out there on the outside.
You're outside
That's the people
midfielder.
with the speed that can run. Those are the ones that you get the ball to as quickly as possible so they can just flat-foot it past everybody.
Okay.
So those are the skinnier, more fit guys
Right.
versus the props and locks and things up in the pack are usually the little bit more overweight and out of shape guys.
Gotcha. What position do you play?
That's a complicated question because we are a super new team, and because a lot of I think our first game we had 9 rookies playing with us who had no idea what was really going on. They were just thrown into a game. So last season I played prop, so I was responsible for getting the ball and just crashing and hitting people. This past season I ended up at fly half. Which is a back, so I was basically kind of like a quarterback. So yeah, but I don't know.
Very nice.
I just kind of go everywhere. Wherever they need me, that's where I go.
Nice.
I play lock and flanker. It's basically just in the forward pack that I play in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Pretty intense positions?
Pretty intense, yeah. I don't get much of the running aspect of it, yeah.
Okay. Max, what about you?
I am a dirty hooker.
Dirty hooker.
Through and through. I'm
Now
the guy
this-
up in the front in the mix of the big guys. I'm the guy that takes care of the ball when it gets fed into the scrum, which what they're talking about, the big pile of
Bodies.
what is it? 9 plus 9, 18 guys, pretty much crashing into each other, fighting over the ball.
I was very impressed you were able to add. Being a hooker, you kind of get a lot of head. Your head's
a lot
right
of
into
concussions.
And technically it is 16 because it's 8 on 8. The
scrum half.
the scrum half isn't technically bound in. They're not crashing into anybody.
So
We're not going to get in that.
So he's
You know
not a
those
fucking
guys.
math genius.
Exactly.
So we can
Again,
say-
he's taken a few hits to the head. Just put it that way.
But as Josh touched on, I am that hooker that, hits the big guys and then kicks the field goal afterwards.
Nice, very nice. Now, yeah, that was going to be our next question. How do you start the game or a match?
It's very similar to football in where there's a kickoff.
Same thing in soccer.
Yeah, same thing in soccer. In soccer, it's from the middle of the field, the 50 yard line, 50 meter line. In rugby, you'll hear a lot of metric terms because again, it was started as a European game, came over to the United States, so it's we use a lot of metric terms as opposed to standard. So you'll hear us speak in meters instead of yards. But it's a kick from the middle. It has to go 10 meters in order to be a legal ball to be played. So there is a kickoff. It's one of those things that football's trying to get rid of now, where they're moving the kickup off, and if you have a touchback, they go from the 20-yard line to the 25, and they're trying to prevent the quote-unquote charging injuries of people running down the field at high speed. In rugby, you want those people running at high speed, because if you can get that ball high enough and get that person there quick enough, it's a free ball. If you kick off, you can catch it. There's no, the kicking team touched the ball and it's a turnover. That's not the point at all.
Does that happen a lot with you guys? Has that ever happened where you kick the ball up high and you actually catch it yourself?
I've done that once. It was actually a botched kick. It was supposed to go in a completely different direction. Luckily, and this was maybe my second year of ever doing this, because I am, on top of that, I'm the guy that does the kickoffs. It was a really bad botched kick. I didn't even think it was going to go 10 meters, but I chased it down anyways and got it back.
So were you like a superhero for that?
No, we very soon after actually lost the ball.
So who screwed that one up?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. At the time, I was on the ground. I'm not exactly sure how we lost the ball, but it was I guess you could say a high point in my career, being able to catch my own kickoff.
Pretty cool.
One of the cool things about rugby is it's such a team-based game. In soccer, you know the people of Ronaldo or Ibrahimovic or Rooney, these superstars that can carry a team. You don't really have that in rugby. I mean, there are really good players for their position, but if they don't have 14 guys with them or 13 superstars with them, they're not going to dominate. You can't have one person dominate on a rugby field because it's a lot about support and using your teammates.
Everybody's got to contribute to the game. Like we talked about with football, if the guy gets tackled downfield, he's one-on-one with another man, and the guy takes him out, the ball stops. In rugby, you're one-on-one with another man, and he tackles you, the ball's still in play. So if your teams are not there to back you up.
So is there a lot of one-on-one man action, or what did you mean by that?
Man-on-man action.
Talking about rugby.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Just wanted to make sure.
Depending on the team, it is man-on-man or woman-on-woman, just saying.
Now, here on the monitor, we got the Illiana Banshees women's rugby team website. Now, the very first page, the homepage, for those of you guys that are listening, to definitely check it out. Again, it's IllianaBanshees.com. The very first homepage, it says, "Wanna ruck." Now, what the hell does that mean, ladies?
A ruck is kind of what takes the place of a down in football. So rather than being tackled and play stopping, you want to try to take the ball, like as you're getting tackled, take the ball and place it so it's facing toward your team. And then after that, it becomes a battle over the person on the ground for possession of the ball.
It's very well explained.
That was very good. I got a really good picture. Now, are there penalties just like football, or what's?
Yes, so many penalties.
Yeah.
What are some examples of penalties?
Passing forward.
Yeah. High tackling.
High tackling. Yeah, there's a great picture of our recent game where
tackling above the armpits.
Yeah, any tackle that is made above the armpits is technically classified a high tackle. So if you get a guy around the neck, get a guy around the shoulders.
Horse collaring.
Yeah, if you horse collar a guy,
No, I'm just saying I made that.
if you there's a picture on our Facebook page where I got a arm straight to the face.
Where's the one where you can't like the bridge or something that you can't like?
You can't come in offsides.
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 Playing
Hands
the ball
on
on
the
the
rock.
ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, off the feet. Again, rugby, you have to be on your feet in order to play. In soccer, there's slide tackling. In football, you can make these one-handed diving catches. In rugby, you can make those diving catches, but if somebody holds you to the ground, you have to have teammates there to support you.
Yeah. So technically, I mean, again, a lot of our listeners are military, prior military. Some of these men and women are stationed overseas in different areas around the world, and they're hearing this. It kind of gives them a sense of, you definitely need that camaraderie, that support, similar to like a military formation or military advancement or even defense. Now, one of the reasons why I asked you guys to come on, because you guys won last week. Tell us about that. We'll start with the ladies first. You guys went on the road. Who'd you guys play, and tell us a little bit about it.
We played the Rockford Ravens, which we didn't play them this last spring, like when I was playing, but the Banshees played them in the fall and lost miserably. Mm-hmm. There's like footage that someone took, and it's on Facebook. Don't look at it, or on YouTube. It's awful. Because it was our first season as a team, so it was absolutely terrible.
They're all looking it up right now.
Yes. Okay. Don't look at it, it's bad. So everyone was going into the game like, man, they slaughtered us last year, and I was looking at one of the other guys. We were talking about how they had a big game the next day, and I was like, you know what, we can beat them. Like, I know you guys are going to beat the Exiles. I know we can beat the Ravens. And we show up, and we showed up solid with our 17, 18 girls, and at their home game, they only had 9 girls.
Wow.
And we were like looking around like,
is this real?
Is this what? Well, how is this possible? So we ended up, it was like an automatic forfeit because they didn't have enough women to field a team. But because rugby, and especially women's rugby, is so small, you end up what's called whoring in the rugby world, which is you play for another team. So we ended up giving them a couple whores, and we still played. And we still won.
Yeah, and we still won. So
People
an official
give me
win.
whores.
Right.
Now,
Whores are good.
yeah, there is a lot of sexual innuendo I've noticed in rugby. Now, is that just come with the territory, or I mean, what are some of the reasonings behind all the?
I think it more so comes to
Just
the
comes with it.
personality of the kind of people that it kind of takes to play rugby.
Yeah.
It's usually the rough around the edges kind of group, so you're going to get a lot of those weird sexual innuendos and a lot of full frontal nudity too.
Really?
Mostly with the men's team.
Which truly makes me a black sheep in our community. I'm sort of, I think one of the reasons I was elected treasurer is because I'm probably the trustworthy guy.
You're also the most sober most of the time.
I'm usually the most sober, yeah. Everybody's like, hey, we're gonna, we have after parties after every game where, you play hard for 80 minutes and, just like a soccer game or a football game, it's like, oh, I'm so hungry now. So we go and we go to our local bar and, JJ Kelly's, they have a great spread for us, and they're one of our they're great, but they're a great sponsor for us, and we eat and we drink, but we also have these rugby songs. Again, you talked about that camaraderie, and it's all about bringing beating the crap out of each other for 80 minutes, and yet singing a song and drinking a beer with the guy next to you that just bloodied your nose or stepped on your hand or something like that. Mm-hmm. Because we're all ruggers, and that's sort of who we are. That's our culture.
Yeah, just to make it clear, I tell people all the time, that's one of the things I think is most attractive about rugby is that you've got two teams beating the snot out of each other for 80 minutes, but when it's over with, they don't go drinking their own little holes. Yeah. They go to the same hole, drink together in arms, and are party together. Whoever it may be. I mean, watering hole, drinking hole, everybody's got their own place. But it's the only sport that as a whole, as a sport, both teams always go to the same place to drink and have that camaraderie together. versus going their separate ways after the end of the match.
Yeah, an upcoming show, we're going to talk about different holes and what to place in them. That'll be our next show on Black Sheep Bravo. So, very nice, ladies. So what was the final score?
Our game
31-15.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't a tight game, but you guys did some really good.
It wasn't given to us.
Right,
Yeah,
but one of our teammates scored against us when she was whoring. So had they not had our team, they wouldn't have scored at all.
Probably.
I'm really, really proud of them too. I'm sort of one of the co-coaches of the Banshees, and seeing from where it was literally 9 players knowing absolutely nothing, and when they played the Ravens last time, they lost by over 70 points.
Did you get aroused?
No. I was so angry over the penalties that were being committed, and I will never forget, it was the Ravens game with the women where one of our players, Louisa, tagged a girl because we had an advisor come in, and he was a big advocate of touch. So, like touch football, 2-hand touch, and, the down is done. Instead of tackling, he would have them play touch rugby. So you touch the girl, she's supposed to place the ball down, and we're recycling
To
from
be
there.
fair, we're all big advocates of touching. We love touching.
I was going to say,
that is
there
true.
is a lot of
But-
touching going
Yeah.
on.
Always.
But
Now,
in the middle
let
of
me
the
back up. When I said
ahead.
you were aroused, I meant aroused at the fact that this may be a potential win for...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't mean, well, maybe, unless you were.
Well,
I don't know.
There we go again.
You see a bunch of women, wearing short shorts. Yeah.
USA Rugby ethics prevent
See,
me.
you're spitting. Yeah,
They prevent me.
Today, Junior.
Sure.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Someone will never say her.
But they prevent me from doing any of
Gotcha,
that. So.
gotcha. Very nice. And then, so the men's side, you had a pretty big win here last week.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Tell me about that, Max.
God.
If before I talk about the match itself, if I may give a little back history, this past Saturday was a huge rivalry match between ourselves, the Illiana Misfits, and the Northwest Indiana Exiles. The back history is the co-founders of our club actually came from that team, which essentially started the huge rivalry. I think it was 14 years ago in 2002, I think it was. So that started the whole, the big rivalry, and with the fact that they're a very experienced club, it's taken us literally 14 years to beat these guys. Last year we came really, really close. At time expired, we tied it, I think it was 20-20.
20-20.
And I was so excited because I had actually thought that I made the game winning kick, but it was the game tying kick.
Oh, wow.
Which was a little bit heartbreaking, but pretty cool at the same time. But then this past Saturday, kind of emotional for a few of the guys, and then for the other guys, that are kind of newcomers, it was just kind of like another win for them. But we came out victorious. It ended up 32-21, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Again, didn't come easy.
Not at all,
Yeah.
and huge victory for the Illiana Misfits, and I will say, big props to the Northwest Indiana Exiles for coming out and giving us their best.
Good, very good. Now, some of the traditions you mentioned that earlier. Who could tell me a little bit about the traditions of rugby? With beer in hand. This guy is definitely from Tennessee because he has not left without that beer in his hand.
Well, I guess one of the biggest ones that everybody refers to is the first time you score, which is called a try in rugby. What happens when you score the first time? Zulu Warrior. And Zulu Warrior is basically where you strip down to nothing but what God gave you. And somebody kicks the ball as far as they can kick it, and you take off and retrieve said ball, and then as you're coming back, you are doused entirely by everyone with beer and water and everything else that they can find. And this happens out in public.
Sounds like a good time.
On the field or at the local bar or wherever the team so chooses to do so. The other would be the songs. There's tons and tons of songs to go through after the matches, usually led
Now, again, we talked about the Banshees website. Does the Misfits have a website?
IllianaMisfits.com.
Now, are some of the songs on that website, on either website, so people have a general idea of what songs you're talking about?
A few of them.
So.
I'm not sure if there's videos, but I know that the lyrics to a lot of the songs are on there. At least 4 or 5 of them.
And if you Google rugby songs as well, you'll bring up a lot of them. Again, some of those are probably not safe for work, so you may not want to.
Yeah, disclaimer: they're slightly racist, very sexist, and quite sacrilegious.
And dirty.
For the most part. And dirty, right?
Terribly.
And dirty.
Vulgar,
Yeah.
But those are the better ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, ladies, this question is for you. When you see people in public and you tell them that you play rugby, what are some of the responses that you get?
Oh God.
Oh God. Oh God.
I'm
Wow.
sure that is a response.
That's a good response. That's
it's
my Rev.
really-
I'm sorry. That's my go-to.
That's
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Little rack PT. That
They ask
always
if-
gets it.
We're scared.
Yeah.
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 Also, you get "Are you a lesbian?" a lot because you have
Is
to be
that-
a lesbian to play rugby.
Is that
obviously.
the kind of the misconception that people get? You think? Or?
Well, okay. Our team is pretty. Other than one, I think we have one lesbian on the team. We're all straight.
Two.
Two?
You have 2. Yep.
Super.
is there a questionnaire you fill out?
I
or-
know.
Okay.
Funny that the preacher knows how many lesbians there are.
I'm
That's
the
probably-
coach of the team.
So is that
Here's
part
everything.
of your Yep. Let's see here. Yep. Oh, yep. Yeah. She's a
Oh,
lesbian.
she's a lesbian.
Yep.
You're in. Let's go.
You're in.
That's automatic.
So our team is predominantly straight, but that's not true for most women's rugby teams. So we'll go meet another team, and all of them are like
90%.
are like lesbians.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, I remember when I actually did my Zulu was actually against the Chicago Dragons.
Yes.
Which is a very well-known, predominantly gay male rugby team in Chicago. So that was fun. I mean, I wouldn't say that I was scared, but
Your drinks were pretty much free for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can imagine.
Body shots, things like that. It was a good time.
Blowjobs, the drink.
Oh, the shot.
Yeah.
I think there were 1 or 2.
Yeah.
No
I think
hands.
there were 3 or 4 of the other kind though.
Now, does the Banshees or the Misfits have their own special drink that they drink? Like, you guys have your own special drink that you guys travel with? Or?
Beer?
I do know that me and Will,
Jameson.
a while back, we started making jars and jars and jars of what we call Misfits Mash.
Yeah.
It's essentially just like your average homemade apple pie moonshine that we just put green food coloring into. So
Nice.
apple pie moonshines with our
It's got to be
colors.
Jameson.
yeah,
I've never seen so much Jameson drink until I moved up here with this group.
Yep.
That's all
I
they
mean,
drink.
that's my drink of choice.
Yeah. Ladies, about the Banshees, do they have their special drink yet? Or since you guys still pretty new?
We're still pretty new, but there's a lot of beer had.
Yeah.
A few of our women really like Jaeger. There is one particular banshee who I love, whose name is Robin, and she is never without a bottle of Remy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
classy.
So literally, like taking her flask out of her purse at the bar and like refilling her,
While
No.
she's
That's
lighting
how
up a
she- it's
stogie.
'cause- yeah, heck yeah.
She's
That's
all about
impressive.
cigars.
That is
smoking cigars
impressive.
and drinking Remy. That's Robin.
She also always orders vodka and lime. I never see her at the bar
Is
without
this,
vodka and
is
lime.
this part of your coaching formula where you got to know who the lesbians are and what they drink, or is
Well, see, one of the things I've actually sort of challenged.
I'm
well,
just messing with you.
I understand that.
Vodka
but-
teenies, you're probably not getting playing time.
No, one of the things I've sort of challenged myself to do is not only to know what person should play what position or where they would fit in best, but to understand the chemistry of the team as well, to figure out which girls work well with each other. And for that, I go to the bar with the women after their practices, and
Yeah,
I get to see them interact with each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you take notes?
Almost sounds like
No.
stalking.
Yeah. Do you videotape?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Yes. Almost sounds like How to Catch a Predator there.
I never kiss and tell. I
Nice.
never
Good
kiss
for
and
you,
tell.
Josh. Good for you. Good for you. Now, again, you got the fall season here. This is like the big season. This is where all the games mean. They have to, they keep recorded, and it's the main season. What do you guys got in the future here lined up? Both men and women. We'll start with you.
Our spring has actually changed for the men because it used to be a lot of social games. We would go out and find universities to play, or people that or teams that we wouldn't normally play as part of our conference. We'd go to Indianapolis and play the West Side Outcasts. We'd go to Wisconsin. One of the big trips we've done actually for the last couple of years now is go down to Nashville and play in
Nash
go to Nash
Memphis's territory.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but we play teams there that we never would have played before.
Memphis.
Like Memphis, yeah. But Nash Bash is a great thing because you get to see college teams, you get to see women's teams, men's teams from all divisions, D2, D1, D3. Where they're different skill sets, different walks of life, but we're all there to play rugby together.
Yeah.
But our season has changed. Getting back to this, our spring season now means everything for us. It's now a conference season as well.
Nice.
So we're going to have to intersperse our conference season with non-conference games as well.
Intersperse, I like that. I really like that. Ladies, what about you? What do you guys got in the future here? What do you guys got lined up?
We have a game October 8th.
Is that home?
Yes,
or?
that's home game.
Home, okay.
Our only home game this season.
Very nice. So tell the listeners, where can they see you? What time? Give us the scoop. Where can they see the Illiana Banshees kick some ass?
Riverside Park, Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah. And
Right off Kelly Met.
Yes.
And what time is kickoff?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. And who are you guys playing?
The Fox Valley Vixens.
Vixens. So it's Vixens and Banshees. That sounds that sounds pretty hot. We definitely have to get the word out and get some people out
Screamers
there.
and the sex symbols.
And since this is October, is there like a Halloween theme? If you wear a costume, do you get a beer or anything special?
You don't have to
like
wear
that?
a costume.
You don't have to.
If you show up to a rugby match, you'll get a beer.
Get a
That'd
beer.
be a
Generally
great
You'll
trend
find
to
a beer
start
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be coolers lined up.
Well, I think we should encourage people to dress up anyway.
Oh yeah,
just to-
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, since it is October. What other events do you guys got going? I mean, I know you guys are a non-for-profit, fundraisers, events. What kind of things do you guys got?
Now that you mention it, coming up, October 2nd is actually our 22nd. Sorry, is our second annual Magic Misfits All-Male Review. Ultimately, it's some of our best looking, some not best looking, but rather spirited anyways. It's a strip show. The one we did last year was actually to raise money for the Wounded Warriors Project, I think it was.
Combat motorcycle veterans.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure if we're
Who would
donating
be-
anything for what we're doing this year.
We're not partnered with them this year. This year it's primarily a fundraiser for us, but we're talking to different people. We always are looking to partner with charities, especially veterans charities.
That was my next question. Being that the team was, the rugby club was founded by 2 Marines, do you do a lot of charitable events in your community? Because I don't think people realize that rugby is played year-round for the most part, and that you guys actually do a lot of stuff in the community. Is that... Am I off base, or is that pretty true?
We're always looking for opportunities to volunteer. Last year, we had a bunch of guys help out with Habitat for Humanity and installed a ramp for a disabled veteran.
Nice.
We were partnering with a roller derby club called the Illiana Derby Dames. They're constantly also involved with charities as well. Bringing food instead of an admission ticket, or come to a certain Halloween night or something like that, and then they donate some of the proceeds. The Misfits, we're sort of a group that invites veterans in with open arms. We have guys from every branch of the armed forces, to my knowledge at least, where we've got veterans from every branch of the armed forces: the Marines, Air Force, Navy.
You notice how he said the Marines first?
Well, I'm going to say the
bless
Marines
you, Brad. God bless you. I love you, man.
I'm going to say the Marines first, not only because I'm talking to the Spaniard, but also because you were involved in the founding of the team, and we've sort of embraced that part of it, of helping our veterans, especially those veterans that, we had a guy come in, moved in from Hawaii, had no clue what was, in the area, hooked up with the Misfits and said, "Hey, I'm here. I played rugby when I was out in Hawaii with a bunch of Navy guys. and instantly he falls in with a group of veterans, has that camaraderie, and we can help him integrate into society again, that's
good.
as a civilian.
That's really good. Ladies, this question is for you. For your recruitment, what do you tell, like, say, teenagers or the younger women who see it? What are some of your tactics in trying to inspire or promote women's rugby?
Well,
that's a tough question, isn't it? This is like 2020 here.
Well, I think my approach has not worked because I usually
Then don't talk about it.
Well, first let's talk about what was your approach, and then let's see if we can fix it.
Well, so my approach was to say it's a combat sport. Like, you get a lot of tackling, and if you're light enough and tall enough, we'll throw you in the air.
Wow. That sounds like...
Wonder why that didn't work, Sochi.
That sounds like a
I would have been interested in that. So.
Yeah.
What do you say?
What do you say?
Well, I tend to leave the contact out of it at first.
Yeah.
Because inherently, like, if you've heard anything about rugby, you know people get tackled. So already going into that, they know that there's a certain level of contact involved. But I more speak about the camaraderie, having a group of women who support you no matter what, which I feel like is super important because women are so, like, quick to get catty with each other and kind of be jerks, but you have a solid group of girls who you literally could lean on in any situation, and I know the men's team is like that too. So I talk about that and how, I felt lost after leaving sports, and now that I'm back in one, it feels like I'm home.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We're all very close.
What sport were you in before?
I played soccer and I did track and field. I sprinted and threw discus and shot.
So for recruitment purposes, anybody that has played pretty much any team sport, they're more than well. They'll be able to adapt. Is that pretty much safe to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rugby is a full body sport.
Full body.
It's a full body sport.
Damn, Rev, you are just talking so damn sexy tonight.
Sounds like my kind of woman.
I guess it's the sultry sound of my voice. I don't know what
Could
it is,
be.
but anyway.
I'm getting aroused right now just thinking about it.
It truly is.
Oh, we have a new guest here. Who is this?
Thanks.
Who just walked in? Who is this? Who is this chick?
My name's Ursula.
Ursula.
Oh, shit. One of the lesbians.
I gotta explain. This is the chick I booked from Backpage. She's actually an escort. She just came here to kind of.
I appreciate you actually using my technical title instead of calling me a dirty hooker.
Ursula, you dirty slut. I'm gonna come back to you in a little bit. We still got a show to do here, so we'll get to you in a little bit.
Pull out my Bible.
Get some holy water going.
So okay, so we got.
Christ does compel me.
I'll quit.
That was beautiful. Ursula. God, I love this girl.
Wow.
We'll have her information at the end of the show as well, so you guys can give her a call. That dirty little. Yeah. So October 8th is your first home game, and Misfits. What do you got going on here in the future, game wise?
Well, we've got a bye week this week, but we've got 2 away games on the 1st and on the 8th. We're going to be in Chicago for both of those. But we finish our fall season, with our home game, basically, our last home game of the season against Lake County. Now, this is Lake County, Illinois. If you heard of Six Flags Great America, that's where it's located. It's Gurnee.
I lost my virginity there.
Okay. Well,
on a roller coaster.
That'll be another show.
On a roller coaster?
Me too.
In fact, it was with Ursula, this dirty slut.
Ursula never had one. Let's be real here.
That was a roller coaster ride.
Very nice.
All right.
And then, so at the end of the season is what's the end of the game, or what's the last game of the season?
Last game of the season is against Lake County on October 15 at 1 p.m.
October 15th.
And we play the same place that the women play, Riverside Park in Hammond, Indiana.
And just to let people know, this is a pitch, a field that has been pretty much sanctioned just for rugby. It's been pretty much donated by the city village of Hammond, and there is a park. There's a park there, a dog park. There's restrooms. There's there's water. There's very ample parking. So it's a very family friendly, so to speak, kind of a place to go see rugby.
Yep.
Or so would you encourage people to come out, and can they come? Is there a cost to come see a game?
Well, it's free, so
Yeah,
come out.
Come
Bring
on.
a
Bring some
cooler
beer.
beer and
Yeah.
have some good time. Have a good
Very
time.
nice.
But-
I think people would
yeah.
appreciate that. All right, we're getting close to the end of the show. I want to go ahead and take this time. If anybody wants to promote anything,
Yes, practice.
Now is your chance. We're going to start here to my left with Ursula. You go ahead and promote.
You know what? I'm gonna let my pimp Daniel Mex speak for me right now because I feel like he's getting very upset at the fact that I'm speaking over him. So you just go on ahead, sweetheart.
Yeah, you just sit your ass down. Anyways, no, I am a I am a contractor through Broom and Construction. Yeah, it's my last name, not very original. We do electrical, plumbing, flooring, carpentry, anything you got it, we do it.
Nice. Promotion. Who you want to promote, or who, or what?
Purdue's Rugby Club, Purdue Northwest Rugby Club. We're trying to get people into rugby.
Get them into
Is that
it.
a question? Or?
No, that's a statement.
That's a statement.
That's a statement.
Very nice. Okay.
I don't really have anything to promote, but if you're listening and you're interested, the women practice at Riverside Park at you can get there at 5:30. Some of us are there early, but we practice from 6 to 8 every Monday and Wednesday. So
Very nice. Memphis.
Yep. No, just check it out at IllianaMisfits.com, and we practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 8, with usually some social time after that. But, don't need to know anything about it. Just come out, bring some shorts, mouthpiece, and some cleats. Just come check it out. Nothing to lose. Just check it out. If you don't like it, don't come back.
Outstanding.
probably watch it anyway.
I take it. Do you like country music?
I do like country
Do you
music.
sing? Because I have this feeling that you sing.
I do some karaoke.
Very nice. So there you go, folks.
Blame it all on his roots.
Yes.
In boots.
Yeah, you guys can come see Memphis sing at our after party. So definitely
There
come
we
out.
go.
All right, Rev, what do you got?
Oh man.
30 seconds, please.
I know. I got 30 seconds.
28.
That's all she needs.
That's right.
Wow. I'm going to echo Memphis to start. Definitely come out Tuesdays and Thursdays to rugby practice. If you're unsure about either what rugby is, how to play it, or who these guys are, by all means, we welcome everyone with open arms. Just come on down to the pitch, and yeah, I know. Just let it go. Let it
God,
go.
this sounds so dirty.
But just run around with us. We'll teach you what you need to know. We've got a lot of guys that have never played before, and are now, frankly, some of the best players on the team. So, if you're interested in getting physical,
Yes.
we'd be more than happy to,
Yes.
to invite you on to.
It's a good thing I'm wearing tight pants right now because,
Flashback to the
man,
80s.
you are getting me so
Yeah,
damn
there you
aroused
go.
right now. All right, this is a new segment on Black Sheep Bravo. This is called the Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you each a series of questions. First thing that pops into your head, give me an answer. All right, Max, we're going to start with you. What is your favorite word?
Cunt.
What is your least favorite word?
No.
What is your favorite curse word?
Cunt.
What turns you on?
Cunts.
What turns you off?
The word no.
No.
Very nice. Zoshi, you're up next. What is your favorite word?
Definitely.
What is your least favorite word?
No.
Favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What turns you on?
Turtlenecks.
Turns you off?
wow.
Turns you off?
Mustaches.
Serious?
So glad I
Looked
shit.
in the face and said that.
That's all right.
Wow.
It's okay.
Even,
I'm not
even
hurt.
with the Captain Hook flair at the end.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know. It's just.
So wouldn't that be her favorite swear word? She doesn't
be.
like mustaches.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're switching gears. Favorite word?
Yes.
Ooh. We're gonna talk after the show here. What's your least favorite word?
No.
Oh, you're definitely gonna.
I had a lot of us around the same.
Hey, when you guys leave, I'm going to stick around. We're going to do a private show here. Okay. What is your favorite curse word?
Shit.
What turns you on?
Rugby.
What turns you off?
Not being able to play rugby.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There we
Now,
go.
man in the middle, Memphis. What is your favorite word?
Ma'am.
least favorite word?
No.
What is your favorite curse word?
Bitch.
What turns you on?
Bondage.
Holy shit. What turns you off?
Her saying no.
That's last but not least, a 6'4" sophomore from Carbondale, Illinois. We got the Rev. What is your favorite word?
Theology.
Ooh, nice. What is your least favorite word?
Heresy.
Ooh, nice. We're getting very intellectual here. What is your... Now, again, keep in mind, listeners, this is a reverend here. What is your favorite curse word?
The one I use all the time is dang it.
And...
Again, I'm totally a black sheep in this because everybody's got a favorite curse word, and I try not to
No
swear.
worries.
Nothing
No
wrong with that.
worries.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're darn right, too. That's right. All right. Last two questions. What turns you on?
An intellectual woman. No, seriously, an intellectual woman is a great
Intellectual women with... All right, that's good answer.
confidence.
Good. Oh, God.
There you go.
Beautiful, beautiful. And last question. What turns you off?
Sorry, a bitch.
Ooh, good
Yeah.
Lord. Good Lord.
So we found his actual favorite curse word here.
No,
you go.
no, it isn't. I don't like saying
Well,
that.
there you have it, folks. That was a lightning round. Now, again, real quick, for our listeners, how can they get in touch with both teams, the Illiana Banshees and the Illiana Misfits? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
I do know that our Facebook page and our websites both have some sort of contact information, whether it be via email or a phone number to one of our recruitment chairs or somebody from anybody that holds a position in office.
You can get to it through the IllianaMisfits.com or the IllianaBanshees.com, or you can also call 219-313-1931.
We're on Facebook.
No, 1939, sorry.
One more time, just for those dyslexic people, go for it one more time.
219-313-1939.
Very nice. And again, the Illiana Misfits will be playing their last match on October 15th. That's a home game.
That's correct.
So make sure you see them. And on October 8th, the Illiana Banshees will be taking on the Vixens of Fox Valley. So make sure you come out and see them. Again, it's been great. We want to thank the Illiana Misfits and the Illiana Banshees for coming out. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns about Black Sheep Bravo, give us a call. You know where to find me. And as always, keep them always armed. This is the Spaniard signing off. Have a great fucking day. Good night.